Hey everybody, Happy New Year. Glad to be back in the studio. It's been a busy couple of weeks with holidays and traveling, and I was sick, and so things are kind of back to normal. We've got a brand new year ahead, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the year brings. So I just thought I'd come down and play a little bit here in the studio, and I pulled some things out, and I'm not sure where I'm going to go with it, as usual, but thought I'd bring you along, and we'll see what happens. I've got some 140-pound watercolor paper. I have some watercolor paper that I rusted. I have an old book page. Large old book page. I want the text side, I think, is what's calling to me. And then I have this Origins Fairy Tales. It's a mixed media paper from Tattered Angels. And it's almost like a suede paper. It has all of these really cool old looking images, fairy tale type images on it, and it's printed two-sided, which makes me sad because I want to cut some of these out and I don't want to lose what's on the front, so I have ordered another one. But I'm thinking maybe kind of along this line. I don't want anything really big. This one I like, so we'll see what happens with this. But that, and obviously because of these colors, this will be colored, and this can take a lot of wet media, so I'm just going to play with some of these images. The reason that I have this in the first place is that I was selected as a new team member for 2019 by Canvas Corp Brands, and they are the parent company of 7 Gypsies, yay, and Tattered Angels, and then they also have their own products under the Canvas Corp brand home collection. So yeah, so I will be doing some videos for them throughout the year and helping with the blog maybe, or other things. I'm still kind of waiting for the details, but they sent me some products to play with to get, you know, a feel for some of the things that they have available, and so I'm probably going to sneak some of those in as well, but this was in the box that they sent me, so I'm anxious to play with this and just see what it does. And yeah, I'm going to clear off this space and try to get a little feel for where to start, and I'll be right back. Okay, this is what I did. I cut out these pieces from that Origins paper. I haven't done anything with this hand yet, but I really like this hand. I need to decide. The rest of these little pieces, though, they did look like that. Now they're like this because I used the Art Extravagance Rust Paste by Finnabair. You get these 3 little jars of color, and they have a gritty texture to them, almost like, you know, if you ran your hand over something rusty. That's the texture that you get. Let me see if you can see it. My daughter bought me these for Christmas, and I was really happy to get them. So I applied brown first, then the yellow, and then the rusty colored sienna color. And I did water them down because I wanted to be able to see the print through the color. So I just used a wet brush to move the colors around, but I'm satisfied with the way they look. I think they'll be fine for this project. So, and all I did, because they were new jars, you know, they came with the seal, so I just dabbed some of the color off of the seal, and there's still lots left on there. So I decided to use this piece of my actual rusted watercolor paper. I have a video on how to rust cheesecloth and different substrates. So if you're interested, that's on my channel there. I will link it at the end. So, and then I also rusted some pieces of this small format ledger paper. This one is really dark, but I pulled this out too, and I think I may use pieces of this. And then I have just an opened up used tea bag. It's sheer. I like the way you can see through it. And then this is just some strings that were pulled off some cheesecloth that I rusted. So I think I'm going to choose a turquoisey aqua accent color for this piece and use that somehow, because it will coordinate really well with all the rest of these pieces that I have. So I just cut that book page down, as you can see, left a border around the edge. I'm not sure how I want to put it on there. So I guess it's time to decide a configuration for the pieces, where everything's going to go and what else I'm going to add. And once I know what that's going to be, then I can start on the background. So that's my next step. I laid out some of those elements and covered them up because I used my heat tool to dry this paper. I just put gesso, a nice coated gesso, on the watercolor paper. And this will be kind of off camera, but I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to use the Dylusions ink spray in, what is this, Vibrant Turquoise. I'm just going to spray it over here on my craft mat, and I'm going to drag this paper through. Ooh, that's pretty heavy. Okay, I think I kind of like it. I like this right here. I was going to go again, but I don't want to mess up this. This is cool right here. Alright, I'm going to see if I can get the other side without... Okay, alright. I'm wondering now if I spray it in the middle. I have a fine mist sprayer, and I'm just doing teeny little spritzes. Well, I kind of messed that up anyway. Okay, so I'm going to go for it now. I'm going to let this drip more. I tried to keep it, but just didn't work, so. And I'm just going to take a baby wipe and kind of get a little texture going and lighten it up, fill in those white areas. I got this color wash paint, one step multi-surface water-based color wash paint from Tattered Angels. This was in the box with that paper. The color is green tea, and I am going to get a brush and splatter some of that on the paper. What brush do I want to try it with? I have this I'm not sure what it's even called. If you can see here against my shirt, see how the tips are? That may work well. Or not, I don't know. Oh yeah. I'll bring some green in, more kind of like a patinated background here. Since we're using the rust, I may just try splitching some on too. Splitching is a art term. Splitching, that's what I'm doing. I like this. I'm going to put it on heavier over here, and it's real thin. It's not really like a paint, it's more like a ready-made wash. I'm going to let it drip across here. Maybe. There it goes. I like this color with the turquoise though. Just play with it a little bit. Be better if I had it in a spray bottle, but I don't, so brushing it will work as well. I'm just going to carry it around all the edges, I think. This probably would work too if I laid it down on the craft mat like I did the spray. I like the way it's mixing with the turquoise. Anyway, it's mixing with the light and the dark. Okay, kind of changed my mind on a few things. I changed the orientation of my page to landscape because I like it better that way. I also just ripped up the book page into some small pieces because I really like this background, and the one big piece of book page was just covering it all up. So I did that. I did just a little bit of black spattering in the background, and then I painted the hand. I used the golden high flow acrylic in Quin Nickel Azo Gold. I did his cuff in the media fluid acrylic in Prussian blue, and then just the nail was a little too yellow, so I just went over it with some Titan Buff. Those colors are all pretty transparent, so you can still see all the cross-hatched shading lines that were on the original paper that I cut out. So I really like that, and it really gives you a good idea of where to apply your paint a little more heavily. So this is where I am. I think I like this. Something's gonna go here, and I don't know what yet, but I want to do some things in the background before I start gluing this all down. So, and one option that I'm kind of shying away from, but I want to show you because these are so cool. These are Architectures Parchment Rub-Ons by 7 Gypsies, and this is the packaging. So I mean, the packaging, you can use all of this. The inside has all of these words, and then there's these images on the back, so you can use every bit of the packaging, which I think is genius. But what's inside is even more genius. These, and I know you aren't going to be able to see them all, but these are ink rub-ons. and they come on this big parchment sheet. There's words, there's images, large, small, teeny tiny, and there's 4 or 5 different themes, if you will. I don't think I'm going to use it on this particular project, but basically you just cut out the little image that you want and lay it down and rub it on with bone folder or craft stick. They work really well. They work on fabric, paper, wood. So I will play with those on another project. I had it out thinking about using it, so I figured I would show you. So I'm going to move all this again off this paper and mess around on this background just a little bit. I don't want to cover it all up because I really like it, but it needs something. It's just, something's not hitting my eye right, so I'm not sure what it is yet. I'm going to find out. Okay, I'm just adding a little bit of texture here with some drywall tape and some archival ink. I think I just wanted to tone the background down in a few places and make it a little more cohesive with all of the brown tone, sepia tone images that are going to go on top. So we'll see if that doesn't help. I'll tell you what color this ink is in just a second. I want to just kind of trail off as it goes up there. This is archival ink in sepia, or sepia, however you want to pronounce it. I'm going to go just down this edge right here. This isn't the greatest applicator. It's just an old office stamp that I put some foam on. It works okay. And then I think I'm just gonna also tone the edges of this paper all the way around. What I am a little worried about is when I glue everything, all the paper down, that Dylusions ink spray, I think it might reactivate, so I'm going to have to be careful so everything doesn't end up with a blue tint on it. You tell I'm kind of procrastinating as far as gluing stuff down because it's still just kind of not, I'm just not sure that I really like it. But hey, it's just all paper, right? So sometimes you just have to go for it. Sometimes you like it and sometimes you don't. And this is just, that was just drywall tape. It comes on a roll like this. It's really cheap. It's got semi-sticky. It's not super sticky, but sticks enough that it holds it to your paper pretty well. When you're stenciling through it, you can spray through it and use it over and over and over. Once it gets clogged up, then you can just pitch it and get a new piece. So, alright, I'm going to lay these pieces back on here and see what we think. I have the pieces where I want them. I added one little Tim Holtz ephemera piece here. I kind of rearranged things a bit from where I had them initially. And then this piece is this frame is also from 7 Gypsies. They're Junque packs, and what they are adhesive little pieces. There's frames, there's this column here, and then these cool background like a tin ceiling and a craquelure, some rattan, and then like this peeling wallpaper piece. And they're self-adhesive. There's 8 pieces in this little pack, and again there's several different themes of these Junque packs. More images that you could use on the packaging as well. So they really give you a lot to work with. It's cool stuff. I'm impressed with that. So anyways, that's what this, if I could pick it up because it's wanting to stick, this little frame, and it's embossed. I don't know if you can tell that. And then the guy's head was part of a Tim Holtz paper doll. So this pretty sure is how I want it, and then I will probably, once everything's glued down and dried, I will decide if I want to add anything into the background around these elements. I'll probably go around some of this stuff with a Stabilo. I do have a brown one, so I'm thinking maybe using that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff glued down and then finish it up. Okay, it's all glued down and dried, and I'm pretty happy with it. I may still maybe put some words in here, but I like the hanger idea. I think I'm going to grunge up these black clips a little bit, or maybe not. It's just got kind of an industrial feel, so I kind of like the hanger. It's just a vintage wooden hanger, but the color is right. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'll finish it up and have a picture of it all done hanging up at the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I invite you, if you haven't already, to subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, go make some art. Bye.